Welcome to another episode of FSD Doctor Talks. This is titled Creatine, the most misunderstood supplement in medicine. Let's talk about creatine because creatine is probably very much misunderstood as a supplement. Most people hear the word creatine and immediately think gym bros, bodybuilding, big muscles, and even kidney damage. And almost all of that is what's wrong. Creatine is not a steroid. It's not a drug. Creatine is something your body already makes every single day, and your brain depends on it. Let me say that again. Your brain depends on creatine. Creatine is actually one of the most studied supplements in the world. Decades of research, hundreds of trials across athletes, older adults, women, men, children, and clinical populations. And yet, most people still don't understand what it actually does. So today, let's try to break it down simply, clearly, no hype. What is creatine? Creatine is a molecule made from amino acids. Your liver makes it, your kidney makes it. You also get small amounts from food, mainly meat and fish. Once creatine enters your body, it becomes phosphocreatine. And phosphocreatine's job is very simple. It helps your cells recycle energy. So in a sense, creatine helps your cells recycle energy. Every cell in your body runs on a molecule called ATP. ATP is your energy currency. But ATP runs out quickly. Creatine acts like a battery backup. When energy demand is high, creatine helps regenerate ATP fast. This is true in muscle, but also true in brain. Here's something that people don't realize. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy. Even when you're doing nothing, thinking, remembering, concentrating, staying awake, processing information, all of that costs energy, and creatine helps supply that. So yeah, creatine helps muscles. That's well known. It improves strength, power, lean mass, and recovery. But that's not the most interesting part. Creatine also helps the brain. And in my opinion, this is where it gets really exciting. Studies have shown that creatine supplementation can improve working memory, processing speed, reaction time, mental clarity, performance under fatigue, and performance under sleep deprivation. These are not actually vague benefits. These are measurable cognitive effects. In some studies, people given creatine perform significantly better on memory tasks, especially when they were tired, stressed, or sleep deprived. And that matters because modern life is just that, stressful. People are not sleeping well, they are cognitively overloaded, they are multitasking constantly, and creatine helps the brain cope with the demand. Now, I'd like to address one of the biggest myths. Creatine damages the kidneys. This is probably the biggest persistent misconception, and it is wrong. Creatine has been studied in healthy people and in people with medical conditions for years. In normal doses, creatine does not damage healthy kidneys. What confuses people is creatinine. Creatinine is a breakdown product of creatine. Doctors measure creatinine as a tool to estimate kidney function. When you take creatine, your creatinine level may rise slightly. That does not mean kidney damage. It means more creatine is being metabolized. This distinction is crucial and it's often misunderstood. In people with normal kidney function, creatine is absolutely safe. This has been shown repeatedly. Of course, if someone already has advanced kidney disease, they should discuss this supplementation with their own GP or renal physician. But for the general population, creatine is one of the safest supplements available. Another myth that I've heard being tossed around is that creatine causes dehydration or cramps. Again, it's not supported by evidence. In fact, in many studies, it shows the opposite. Creatine draws water into the cells, and this improves cellular hydration. Athletes that use creatine often have less cramping, not more. But let's ask the question, why does creatine have such a bad reputation? Because creatine actually entered the public awareness through bodybuilding. And once something gets labeled as a gym supplement, people stop thinking of it as a medicine or nutrient. But creatine is not a performance enhancer in artificial sense. It simply supports energy metabolism. Now let's talk about who might benefit the most. First of all, older adults. As we age, muscle mass declines, brain energy metabolism decline. Creatine can help preserve muscle and may also support cognitive resilience. That's incredibly important for aging well. Second, I'd just like to address some of my friends or a lot of my friends are vegetarians or vegans. Creatine is actually found mostly in animal products. People who don't eat meat often have lower baseline creatine stores. Studies show that they may experience even greater cognitive benefits from supplementation. Third, people under cognitive stress. Shift workers, doctors, students, parents, anyone that's sleep deprived. Creatine has been shown to improve mental performance even when the brain is under strain. Fourth, women. Creatine is often wrongly marketed only to men, and women benefit just as much for muscle health, for bone health, and for brain health. There's no difference that creatine makes women bulky. That is actually a myth. Now let's talk about dosing. This is simple. You do not need loading phases. You do not need fancy formulations. About 5 to 7 grams per day of creatine monohydrate. That's it. Take it daily. Consistently matters more than timing. You can take it with food or without food. Creatine monohydrate is the most studied form. It's effective, it's cheap, it's safe. Another common question that gets asked is creatine, is it only for people who exercise? No. Exercise enhances the benefits, but creatine works independent of training. It supports energy metabolism at a cellular level. Your brain doesn't care whether you lift weights. It still needs ATP, but lifting weights is still important. One more important point, creatine is not a stimulant. It does not increase your heart rate. It does not act like caffeine. It supports energy availability quietly, steadily. That's why many people don't feel it immediately. But over time, they notice focus is improved, they have better resilience and better performance. So let's summarize. Creatine is, number one of the most studied supplements in the world. Number two, it's naturally produced by the body. Number three, it's essential for energy recycling, ATP, important for muscles and brain function. It's safe in normal doses. It's not harmful to healthy kidneys and useful across the lifespan. Creatine is not just for lifting weights. Creatine is about cellular energy, and energy is life. If you've avoided creatine because of fear, misinformation, or outdated advice, it may be time to rethink that, because it's not trendy. It's not just about the trend, it's about the science. It's clear. And just to recap, this is not medical advice for everyone. Always individualize your decisions after speaking to your own doctor. But creatine does deserve a seat in the conversation about brain health, aging, and resilience. If this helped you or caused you to ask a few questions, please share it with someone who still thinks creatine is just for the gym, because the brain deserves energy too. Thank you for watching another episode of FSD Doctor Talks. Until next time, see you.